Hey y'all, it's your girl Jazzy J, and I'm back with another video. So today's video, I got a little story time for y'all. I've been waiting to do this. I don't know why, but if you read the title, this is my worst date. FYI, I've been on 4 dates in my entire life, and they've all been bad. Like all been bad. And you probably like, girl, you exaggerating. Like no, like. One nigga did his boogers, another one we argued the whole time. Like I just met you, why are we arguing? And then this one, and then I don't even remember the other one, but yeah. So let's just get into the motherfucking story, okay? If you see me crying when I'm telling a story, there's this weird thing about me. If I'm telling like a story or just like I'm having to tell a memory from my past, my eyes get really, really watery. So, alright, so, boom. I don't know why I'm weak already, but first of all, so this was like a few months ago. This dude had followed me on Instagram, right? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like, he didn't have a lot of pictures, but he had like, you know when you save your little Instagram stories, and he had a few, and they were kind of cute. And he didn't have that many followers and none of that. So I was like, okay, who this? Nobody that I knew was following him. He lived in the same state as me. I'm like, okay, nobody didn't have time. Don't nobody know who this is. And he cute, like he had dreads. So I'm like, y'all fit. I don't do this. I don't slide in DMs. But I was like, he looked low key, like, you know, let me shoot my shot or whatever. So I slide in his DMs, right? And so he responds and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? But eventually he's like texting me, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, we should link. I was like, yeah, we should. So we link up, right? For the first time, we link up. And we just linked up and we talking. Y'all, when I say the first time I talked to him, he sounded like his voice was so sweet. Like it was so like he has a real low, calm voice. So it's like it's just too sweet. You be like,
Gay.
like you sound like a simp. But but I was like, oh, I was saying myself, I'm like, oh, how cute. He got a little voice. He's so sweet. Blah blah blah. But yeah, so we're talking, we're hanging out. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch this movie tomorrow. I was like, oh, I've been wanting to watch that. I still haven't watched it. And he's like, he looks over, he's like, you wanna go? And I'm like, oh, he invited me on a date. So I'm like, yeah, I don't have no plans, so let's go. So boom, he's like, okay. Well, first of all, he's like, okay, we could go to the movies and then we can go get some food afterwards. And I'm like, okay. He don't only want to go to the movies. He want to get food too. Bet I like that. I'm like, okay, bet I'll just meet you there at this time. The time the movie's gonna start, whatever. So I'm like, good thing I drove y'all, cause y'all gonna find out. So boom, I drive myself there. I'm like, what's up? We link up. So we go to the ticket booth. The lady's like, it's gonna be 20, it's gonna be 26, something. And so he gives him his card, right? Decline. I was just standing in the back like, no. And so he's like, oh, my bad. And he pulls out cash, like a little bit of cash. He don't even count the cash. Look, there go my eyes, already watering. It's bad. But he don't even count the cash. He just gives the cash like crumbled up out of his pocket to the lady, just like, boom, here you go. So she takes it and she's like, she opens it up and I'm seeing her open it up. She's like, this is only $21. Remind you, the total's 26. So she's like, this is only $21. And I'm like, damn. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, it's 26. And he's like, yeah, it's right there. And I'm like, yo, are you not getting it? She's telling you it's 26 and you give her 21. It's not 21, it's 26. And he's just like, it's right there. Like, I'm like, oh, poor thing doesn't have money. Like, so I just pull out my card and I'm like, you could put the rest on here, ma'am. Like, what the fuck? Why me? Not saying it's a big deal, but you didn't have to invite me. You could have. I would rather you cancel than trying to pay or be like, yo, can you pay for your ticket this time? Something, not do what you just did. But still, I paid a little, whatever, little $5 extra, right? And so, remind you, he's like, we finna go to the movies, and then we're finna go out to eat. At this point, I'm not bringing up the food afterwards because you don't have money for the ticket now, okay? So I'm not gonna even bring up food to eat later. We're just gonna worry about the movie. So boom, we watched the movie or whatever. The movie ends. He's like, "You still trying to get food?" I'm like, I'm like, yeah. I'm hungry, you know. I'm like, and he's like, "Okay, bet. Follow me over here. I gotta pick up some money." So I'm like, "Pick up some money." The fuck? I'm like, okay. So he's in his car, I'm in my car. I'm following him to wherever he has to go pick up this little money from, right? And so he's driving fast. Like, I drive fast, so I'm keeping up. But he's gunning it. Like, he's going. And I'm like, okay. I'm in and out of lanes with you, buddy. Like, where you going? And so he finally, 15 minutes later, it's like a 15-minute drive. I was like, goddamn. So we finally get to where he has to pick up his little money, and it's a Walmart. But let me tell you this: we close to where we gotta be, right? Like 10 minutes out driving. I start smelling smoke, and I'm like, yo, what? I'm over here smelling like my air compartments on my car to make sure my car's straight and that like ain't nothing happening, nothing breaking down. You feel me? So I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, my car good? Like, it's just like it smells like smoke. And then I feel like I see smoke coming from his car, but I'm like, nah, I don't know, I might be tripping. We pull up to the Walmart. Y'all, this nigga pulled up right in the front. His car is smoking. Like, at this point, his car is smoking so bad. Like, I'm like, and so first of all, I didn't think he was gonna pull up to the very front one. Like, he don't pull up to no parking spot, no nothing. Like, this the Walmart exit. Like, he pulls up right there. Like, you don't even know what I'm doing with my hands. But he pulls up right in the front. No parking lot, no nothing. He gets out, he parks the car. Car's smoking. He just hops out and runs inside. And I'm not expecting I'm thinking he's gonna go find a parking spot, probably in the back. Nobody see his shit smoking. No. He don't care. So I'm literally parked right behind his car, like, just waiting. Everybody's coming out of Walmart looking at that shit, like, everybody's like, people are mad nosy, so everybody's looking at his car. Every single person that comes out of that Walmart is looking like, oh my god. So I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm just sitting in the car behind it, like, just waiting. So 10 minutes later, I feel like I'm waiting forever, but 10 minutes later, he comes out of Walmart. And he's like, okay, bro's not here. I'm like, what I gotta do with me? I'm like, what? I'm like, so what I mean? Like, he's like, he's not answering his phone no more. Bro's not here. I can't get the money. So at this point, I'm like, yo, this nigga sell weed. He the plug. Like, that's what he do to get money. He sell weed on the slide. He's like, he's not here. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, and I gotta park my car. I was like, yeah, it's smoking bad. So he's like, okay, let me park it and then we'll talk. And then I'm like, okay. And so he finally parks it. I think he's gonna park in the back of a Walmart, y'all. No, he finds a good ass parking spot in the front. Car just smoking. He don't give a fuck. He gonna park the most convenient spot. So He parks right in the front. Car still, it's not smoking as bad right now. It slowed down because he wasn't driving, but it's still like smoking low key. And so I'm like, I'm in my car. He gets into my car, and I'm like, well, I'm still hungry. And at this point, this nigga's all sad, y'all. He's like sitting in my car, like, he's like, yeah, I understand. And I'm like, nigga, you sad, I should be sad. The fuck, I mean, I understand your car heating up, you ain't got money for this date, but don't be doing that crybaby ass shit. Don't nobody got time for that, okay? Man the fuck up and apologize, something, I don't know. So I'm like, you want Wendy's? Like, I was like, I'm gonna get me a 4 for $4. You know, I'm on a budget. And he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, yo, this nigga's a bitch. Like, he's annoying me at this point. I'm like, And so I'm like, okay, let's go to Wendy's. And I was like, by that time, your car should be cooled down, right? He's like, yeah. So I'm literally like, I'm trying to just get you back to your shit, but make sure you're able to get in it and go, because I'm not gonna leave you there stranded. But at this point, I'm ready to go home and go to bed. Okay. So I pull up to Wendy's, and I'm like, man, can I get a 4 for $4? And I order a 4 for $4, and I'm like, I just want water. And I'm like, you want something? He's like, yeah, I want a drink. And I was like, oh, that's cool, because I just want water, and you can get my drink from my 4 for $4. He's like, I want strawberry lemonade. I looked over, y'all. I looked over like, nigga, if you don't get no regular drink, you won't get the upcharge drink. Like, oh, hell nah. I was like, let me get strawberry lemonade. But I was just like, no, he did not just order an upcharge drink. Nigga, you should have got a Sprite or something. One of them free drinks. Not the one they gonna charge me extra for. But whatever. So I'm like, okay, your car should be good by now. Let's just, take you back. Whatever. So boom. I take him back to his car. And he's like, okay, well, I'll text you. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't talk to that man ever since. I did not. I stopped talking to him, right? I was like, not because, like, that was, I don't know, like, don't think of me as, like, a gold digger, because that's not me at all. I'm really not. I'm just, like, that wasn't a good date. That wasn't it. Like, I don't know. So I'm like, I'm just gonna be done talking to you. One day, randomly, y'all, I get a text message from his phone. Hey, this is Luke's sister. He's in jail, but he wanted to call you. Y'all, this is like 2 months later, and I have not talked to him since. So I'm like, I hate the jail system. I hate the prison system. Like, I think it's a very depressing situation. I think it's sad. Like, nobody wants to be in there. You need escape. Sometimes you need an escape. So I'm like, he might be depressed. He might need someone to talk to outside. He might not have friends, So I'm like, if I could like be that ear, like, stay down, like, okay. I was like, sure, you can give him my number. What I gotta do that for? Don't. No. If y'all don't talk, he shouldn't be calling you from no jail, girl. Don't do that. So he called me all calm and regular. He's like, yeah, I'm just in here till like May, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm just sitting on the phone like, yeah, how is it in there? Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know you. Why am I talking to you? So I answered his collect call like maybe once, twice, maybe 3 times. Like, no cap, 3 times maybe. Y'all, when I say he was calling from, I stopped answering. When I say he was calling from jail so many times after that, like, he was calling all the time. Like, I'm gonna put, if you see the 330 number, that's the number. That's the Aurora, I think, police department. That's the number. And I'm gonna show you a screen record from my phone, like how much he was calling, y'all. It was OD. But it was just too much. But that was really the end of the story. I had to stop answering, and he still be calling, y'all, like to this day. He just called me. He stopped for like a month or two because I stopped answering. He called me about a month ago, and I forgot it was the I forgot the number, so I answer all numbers because I'm like, who this? But I answered, and it was like, this is something correctional deficiency. I'm like, oh fuck, I got caught. And so I answered, but I ain't answering again, y'all. That was my worst date story, and that was one of 3. Y'all, I have so many bad ones. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the family. I'm gonna keep going and keep releasing videos. Happy New Year, y'all. So get ready to see your girl. So subscribe. Have a good day, and we out.